feel paralyzed.
You just got wrecked.
I'm okay. Nope, I'm fine. Nope, totally fine. Totally good. Nope.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. It's Tuesday. I hope everybody's having a great start to their week. If we have a look at the markets, they're not really doing too bad today. These past 2 days have not actually been as brutal as we have seen. Now, we are having a 56.2% Bitcoin dominance. This is the highest dominance we have seen in quite some time. Bitcoin sitting at $6,300, and Ethereum obviously still taking a hit. What are you going to do? So it's interesting because you're seeing a lot of people hedge into Bitcoin out of the altcoins, and also noticing Tether clearly moving its way up the charts as the number 8 cryptocurrency in the world. Clearly shows that people are very fearful right now. You know, the market has gone down $1 billion since I just started this video earlier. Crazy, I know. And if we have a look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Emmercoin up 47%. Not too sure why, but maybe do your research on that one. We also have Tezos, Metaverse, ETP, 10x, MOAC, Redcoin, Augur, Dentacoin, MCO, Knowles, and Basic Attention Token, which I still can't access because New York won't let me, but that's for another rant. And if we move on to some of the news today, we have NASDAQ, which is said to be building a tool to predict crypto price movements. Now, we're not talking about the ones that read headlines on Cointelegraph and then dump when they see the words ETF rejected. I'm talking about something to actually give traders and investors a better idea of the market sentiment. So you have Analytics Hub. So it says that it was launched last year, and it combines machine learning, natural language processing, and it has the capability to parse through social media and other alternative data sources to give investors a better way to assess market spikes and dips. Good luck in crypto. But anyway, to date, the Analytics Hub has focused on traditional assets, but the addition of crypto seems to be another signal of Wall Street's growing interest in the nascent sector. Now, let's talk about the biggest news of the past 48 hours, and that's the fact that the Winklevoss brothers launched a fiat-backed stablecoin after New York regulators gave it the green light. Now, to my understanding, this is already launched. So this is the Gemini US dollar with the symbol GUSD, and it has the backing of the New York Department of Finance Services. So according to the Medium post that they put out, it's backed by US dollars that are held at a bank location in the United States and eligible for FDIC pass-through deposit insurance, subject to applicable limitations. So there's that good old comforting FDIC that we love, right? $250,000 in case of a catastrophic event, right? An apocalypse, although I'm not sure in the apocalypse that our paper money would matter very much. But we're talking about the Gemini US dollar here. And Tyler Winklevoss says it's not just Gemini Trust, but you have to build a network of important players that are also trusted to solve for the trust problem of stable coins. And like I said, the trading has already begun. The coin is already available. So yeah, this is definitely something moving forward. Stable coins. You're actually another one too that's probably not getting as much spotlight because of the Winklevoss, but you also have Paxos Trust, the company behind the over-the-counter exchange Itbit, to issue Paxos Standard, which is also a stable coin as well. I got to give it to them. Also, the Winklevoss, I feel like they just get beat up, they get rejected, and they just keep trying, right? The ETF doesn't get approved, and they just keep rolling out ideas, man. These guys, they do not stop, they do not sleep. And I have to congratulate them. Hats off for constantly trying to push forward the innovation of the sector. Now, this is also great news. I feel like a lot of good news today. I'm not trying to hype it up. I don't know what the market's going to do, but the news today is actually pretty good. You have First Block Capital Incorporated, which is a Canadian cryptocurrency and blockchain investment company. They've just announced that they're going to have its Bitcoin Trust, FBC Bitcoin Trust, and it has achieved mutual fund status in Canada, allowing investors to place funds in registered accounts such as tax-free savings accounts, TFSAs, or registered retirement savings plans, which are RRSPs. The trust is available on Neo Connect, not that Neo, a different Neo, a fund distribution platform under the ticker FBCBT, and is available to accredited investors only, but hey, it's a start, right? And advisors can trade the fund with the same efficiency and ease as trading ETFs. So the trust will give investors exposure to Bitcoin without having to acquire, hold, manage the actual Bitcoins. Now, That's not really the idea of Bitcoin. The idea of Bitcoin is to be, peer-to-peer, cashless, electronic system. I get it, guys. I get it. But it's a step forward. They're getting their toes wet, okay? We'll move on, and eventually we'll teach people to hold their own assets as well. But for right now, it's cool because the trust units are considered a qualified investment in a mutual fund under the Tax Act, and the fund has surpassed 150 unit holders in less than a year since its launch. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is that First Block expects most FBC Bitcoin Trust investors will start to move units within the first month. Registered broker-dealer firms, which First Block has worked with, will manage all transfers to prepare for the fund's launch. It's interesting, though, if you note Neo Connect, it says that they are bought and redeemed the way ETFs are distributed, 46 funds managed, 3 asset managed, over 15 dealers servicing $600 million worth of assets. So there you go. Well, it sounds like a great news for Canada. So that's something to definitely talk about. Now, the other thing, too, we have out of China, a lot of people think that because China's got this ban, that was one of the biggest things when the whole China FUD came out. I don't know if anyone was around for that last year. That was like madness. Like the market lost like half in like a day or something. It was crazy. And, the thing is that these guys are getting around it anyway. So it says that you have the South China Morning Post saying that the Shanghai Securities Times reported that trading authorities were beefing up controls and blocking access to 124 foreign crypto exchanges. But really, these guys are getting around it because they're using USDT, right? And they're using VPNs. So yeah, it's not really going to affect much as far as that goes. So I don't really even care when they talk about that kind of FUD. Because, I mean, how do you think I do these interviews with these projects? How do you think we're able to get on all these different services? VPNs. So here's an interesting article. Now, this is actually from Microsoft, and it says that millennials aren't killing banks. They are forcing them to evolve. And they say the future is going to move far past apps, but it's going to move to an era of total platform convergence. Now, what's interesting is I think this is like what CardStack is trying to do. If you guys hadn't seen my interview with Chris C, but it's very, very, very confusing to me, the way that they were explaining it. So anyway, they talk about total platform convergence, and in essence, it's where people once sought out financial services they needed. Today's users want to find the services they need in just one place. That place is where you already are. Wherever you are, I want my bank to come to me. I want to be my bank. I want all my services in the palm of my hand. So they're saying that instead of using separate apps for payments, messaging, social interactions, and more, they're moving towards digital solutions that provide one unified address for all services. So just to give some examples of these integrations slowly starting, you have WeChat that you don't just message, you can also make payments, book taxis, order coffees, and do more. You also had Facebook recently partnering with Uber so that you can order Uber rides through Messenger. So the future is the person, the individual, like we are the hub. You know what I'm saying? That's why you're seeing a lot of these things come out with Ethereum name services and stuff where you're taking all these different addresses and you're putting it just in one particular area. So this is interesting moving forward. This is something that blockchain could definitely get involved in. We've seen a lot of identity apps come out like the Key and Civic and a whole bunch of other ones as well. So that's something to note. And one thing that I wanted to say before we move on to some coin news, I know it's a little bit serious kind of like early in the video, but I was reading this thing and it talks about the US government being able to seize transactions on the SWIFT interbanking network. They give an example of a cigar seller in Denmark that was sending his money to Germany for Cuban cigars. It was an entirely legal transaction between 2 European citizens using 2 European banks, and SWIFT charged them for the privilege of having their money stolen, essentially. Now they're worried because, President Donald Trump is currently escalating a trade war with China. So if he was to sanction China, then any potential business transactions with China from any other country, has the attached risk of monetary seizure. So there's numerous experts, analysts, influencers, pundit trolls out there that are tied to the lie that cryptocurrencies are not needed, not wanted, not worth the effort or the electricity required to run them. It's no accident. Their motives are to retain the status quo, to retain the power of the bank and the nation state. And as you can see down here, the first comment says China and the rest of the world are moving away from SWIFT because of U.S. erratic, politics and policies. So I just wanted to kind of like make a note once again that there is that use case for crypto. We get so tied up in what's happening in the markets that we forget about why we're here in the first place. So speaking back about price, right? Let's talk about the big elephant in the room right now. So we got to talk about Ethereum, which has been having a massive tumble. And as we come down here, you see there's another $30 million of Ethereum this week that the ICOs have liquidated. And the scary thing is that there's still another $600 million to be spent. Now, I know that in comparison to the market cap of Ethereum, that seems like it's not that big of a deal. However, imagine if they start selling on the exchanges, not over the counter, just completely slamming the books from top to bottom. It's going to cause an avalanche. And I'm not trying to create FUD. I'm just saying, realistically, if they instantly just sell it all the way down the books, we're going to have some serious issues. And you also have Nouriel Roubini on Twitter. You know, he was saying no wonder Ethereum is collapsing. 75% of dApps are crypto kitties, scammy Ponzi pyramid schemes, and casino games. The other 25% are DEXs that no one uses, as 99% of transactions are on centralized exchanges, and 99% of cryptocurrencies have already lost 99% of their value. Melt down. And even if we come over here, and you know, I saw this post, it just came out yesterday. This says the top 10 most useful dApps on Ethereum. Okay? Now, we scroll down here. The first one is IDEX and Fork Delta. I agree with that. I love IDEX. I know some people are afraid to use it. I use it. It's a really great exchange. So, yeah, I agree with that. You start to scroll down. You see Bounty's Network. Okay. So, you know, local Ethereum, Augur. I mean, Augur, it's all right. Sonam, now Sonam actually, I've actually spoken to these guys, and they showed me a live demo. I just never got around to posting it, but maybe one of these days, if there's some big Sonam news, I will post that. You have Vuli, OpenSea, Aragon, which, I mean, weekly active users are 150. 150 weekly active users. And you're considering this to be the 10 most useful dApps on Ethereum. 150 weekly users. Guys, think about that. Imagine if an app was on the App Store and it had 150 weekly users. Do you think that app would stay on the App Store without probably having them to pay massive amounts of money to stay listed? I don't think so. And here's the thing. Decentralized systems and applications are significantly less efficient in processing information than centralized platforms. We know this clearly. Blockchain is slow. So Jackson Palmer, he's the creator of Dogecoin. He says the build it and they will come attitude simply doesn't apply to blockchain for anything because it assures that the bulk of users are currently so dissatisfied with the centralized version that they'd absorb typically large switching costs. Now, here's the thing. You can't just make it just as good. You have to make it better. If something is just as good, yeah, you're going to get the people that, you know, understand protecting their rights and all that. But most people are too lazy, right? They don't want to switch. They're only going to make that switch if it's not only equal, but it's better. It's true. If it's just as good, people are lazy. If it's better, they'll make the switch. Okay? Now let's talk about some coin news. Now we have a full debate between Jimmy Song and Bitcoin Jesus, aka Roger Ver, on the blockchain cruise, which, as you guys are aware of, I'm not on. Unfortunately, I guess I missed the invite for that one. But it's okay, because I'm here making the news with you guys today. So you have Jimmy Song, and obviously over here you have Roger Ver, Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash. The debate is forever ongoing. However, I think that this image sums it up the most. Now, I found this online, and it comes with the instructions to zoom into the syrup. We will do this together. So here's the syrup. Let's zoom in. It says, look at the bottom corner. Left corner, okay. Now look at the lower right corner, okay. Now look at the upper left corner. All right. Now look at the butter. And we zoom in. Bitcoin Cash is not Bitcoin. There you go. So, brought to you by Denny's. Okay, so Binance is now available in Polish. Yeah, I don't know. It's news, right? So, the interesting thing is that CZ says, I've yet to meet a person who understands blockchain but don't believe in it. I was shocked to see down here, Andre from Crypto Briefing said, I'll bite. When do you want to meet? What does that mean? Does that mean that you don't? Or this is just a very awkward comment. And I respect this dude, and I like his analysis of code and stuff like that. So I was kind of taken back by that comment. Now, a lot of people, including myself, didn't understand why Bitcoin Diamond was pumping so much earlier this week. So apparently it's because the Bitcoin Diamond Foundation and Shopping Cart Elite announced an agreement to participate in a strategic partnership to launch the BCD Bazaar, Bitcoin Diamond Bazaar. So essentially, Bitcoin Diamond's foundation partners, SEC, prides itself in being today's most sophisticated e-commerce solution. The Bazaar will be the first online e-commerce store that exclusively accepts cryptocurrency. Is that true? The first one? I don't know. Exclusively. Well, Nano store accepts just Nano. But anyway, consumers who purchase products on the Bitcoin Diamond Bazaar will have access to a range of brands, including Amazon, Apple, and Samsung, to name a few. These products can be bought with cryptocurrency and delivered anywhere in the world. And it's set to open up August 20th. So I guess that's next year. It has to be next year because, you know, we're past August. So yeah, we'll see what goes on with that. Now, here's the other thing too. You see like Airswap, they've had a new model. So they partnered with Propellr. And what they're really looking to do is work with these security tokens. So they say tokenization is the ability to represent an asset in digital form, which allows for instant trusted transfer of the asset with programmable compliance, simplified party discovery, and no need to repaper transactions. Tokenization has the power to increase liquidity dramatically. Our focus will begin by tokenizing private securities in the New York real estate market. So there you go. You have more security tokens on the rise. We also have another update from Cardano. This is a really good one, by the way. We had Charles on the other day. They talk about, I'll just break it down real quick. They have the sharing scheme for staking pools. They have the paper that talks about Marlowe. Daedalus wallet now available for Linux, Light wallet, Rust library, Plutus core, Bittrex introducing the ADA USD pairs, and then there's like a final thought. So if you're interested, you can read that as well. We've kind of been talking about Cardano a lot. You also have Wanchain saying they're excited to announce Wanchain 3.0 alpha testnet, bridging Bitcoin and Ethereum is live ahead of schedule. That's good to hear. So proud of our team, etc., etc. If you guys are interested, you can click this, and they have the whole article right here. So you can definitely check that out. Now, we also have a blockchain project that wants to save the rainforest in Peru. So you have Rafael Benavides is transferring $20,000 of property situated in one of some unprotected parts of rainforest near Tarapoto. The project is called Bosque Gaurdien, and it aims to preserve the forest near Tarapoto and provide a condominium of cabins around a boutique hotel specializing in nature, conservation, and research. And they say we're in the process of completing our partnership with ChainZilla, who I just spoke with the other day, and Komodo, which is based on Bitcoin. That's saying that the Bosque Gaurdien is going to issue a token called Guardian Coin. And then you have Charles also from ChainZilla saying incubating new markets is a priority, and we have to think outside the box when it comes to conservation because it has become a stale subject. There is a misconception about it being solely nonprofit. So Bosque Gaurdien is pioneering a sustainable model of conservation that gets us one step closer to making biodiversity conservation profitable. We also have just a lot of updates today, man. We have another one from ARK. So they have the ARK SDK Rust. So you can check that out. I mean, basically, it's a software developer kit. They go into some of the features right here. Efficiency, bindings, type interface, trait-based generics, okay? And I also highlighted down here, there were some of the officially supported SDKs, and I think a lot of people are going to be happy. You have JavaScript, PHP, Python, Ruby, Go, .NET, Java, Elixir, Swift, and Rust. So that is good news for those looking to develop on ARK. We also have Evo welcoming new sponsors. So they've actually partnered with the eSports ecosystem. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're actually on A-Chain. And you guys know I've been very supportive of A-Chain and how you can basically fork and create your own chain as well. Very actually similar in a sense to Komodo, which we were just speaking about. So the eSports ecosystem started sponsoring events back in May with Canada Cup Masters Series 2018, but they say that their goal is far beyond just sponsoring events. So it says that the cryptocurrency is going to be used to pay for things as payouts to players, as an entry fee into tournaments, to trade merchandise on site or online, and most importantly, it'll be used for the growth and facilitation of the esports ecosystem. Part of the growth includes sponsorships for players, teams, charities, and gaming of scholarships. So we'll definitely look more into this as well. I mean, I speak with A-Chain quite frequently. I mean, you know, I really do support these guys. So we'll definitely check out and see what they're doing with that as well. And also, just wanted to throw this out. This is the 2018 blockchain next chart. So this is their prediction of public chains with the most potential, not in any order. I didn't make this, but I'm just telling you. So they say Celer Network, who I literally just spoke to last night. Well, I didn't, but it was on Token Tank. Algorand, Definity, Oasis Labs, Thunder Core, which I've been very interested in Thunder, by the way. Wanchain, VChain, Nebulous, IOTA, Elf, we've spoken about them, Zilliqa, Nervos, Ontology, IPFS, and Origo Network. But, you know, that's their opinion. So yeah. Also, let's talk about adoption real quick before we get out of here. I know I'm just very long video today. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. What do you want? So Australian Prime Minister becomes most pro-blockchain leader. So this is Scott Morrison, and he feels confident that the exciting new blockchain tech will open the door to massive opportunities for Australia. So there was a full interview done with him with Crypto Labs. So Prime Minister Scott Morrison is a politician on a mission to end domination of too big to fail banks in Australia. He relishes the serious competition it will create for mega corporate banks that dominate over smaller community-based banks, and the crypto community is just going wild over this guy. So that's really good news for Australia. You also have Larry King. He was over at the Blockchain Futurist Conference in Toronto, and he got to sit down with guys like Charles Hoskinson, Justin Wu, Al Bergio, Matthew Rosick as well. So, I mean, he didn't really ask great questions. I mean, his questions were like, what is blockchain? You know, how can I send this, whatever. But it's just cool to see this dude be so open-minded to this technology. And a lot of people in America especially know him as a very popular TV and radio host. So hopefully he'll bring some spotlight as well. And before we go, I just wanted to point out, I found this online. I have no idea what this little girl is doing. I don't know at all what this is from, but it made me think about the simplicity. Imagine this is the little girl, right? She has a spending limit in her little account, right? On her, iWatch or Apple Watch, whatever, and she can just go to the store and just buy a little bag of something with Bitcoin or crypto. And I mean, look at how simple that is, right? So I don't know. I just love the concept. It really made me smile. I don't really know what she's doing, but it kind of reminded me of a utopian future of decentralization, right? And I wanted to say before we go, guys, I should have spoke about this earlier, but I'm going to be interviewing the anonymous founder of Komodo, JL777. This is my post on Twitter. I've only received 5 comments so far, but if you guys want me to ask questions, please drop your questions right now. So once in a chance lifetime, guys, anonymous founder of Komodo. So definitely get in there and ask your questions. And also, guys, tonight we are going live with Hashoshi. He is an Ethereum developer, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Ethereum 2.0, what's going on, his opinion on the markets, his opinion on the scalability, what he knows so far. Yeah, we're going to dive in because we need to talk about Ethereum, man. We need to talk about that. What is going on? So that being said, guys, I know today's episode was a little bit longer than usual. I hate when they run this long. Had so much I had to bring to you, so much to talk about. That being said, it's been a pretty incredible start to the week. There is a lot happening in crypto despite what's going on in the markets right now. That being said, I want to say thank you so much to everybody that's been liking, subscribing, commenting, everyone that's been joining my Telegram group. I freaking love you guys. You're awesome. And yeah, so my name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.